Lo primero de todo, quiero agradecer a todo el mundo que está aquí conectado online, que vengáis a escuchar lo que vamos a presentar. Bueno, hablo yo en nombre de, como veréis, un equipo muy amplio. Voy a hacer el PowerPoint es en inglés, pero voy a hacer la charla también en inglés, que han pedido los compañeros marroquíes, porque luego la pasarán ellos a los estudiantes y demás allí, por lo que, bueno, voy a hacer charla en inglés con mi inglés. O sea que, so hello to everyone, and thank you very much to all of you that are here face to face, but also in online. And well, this talk was normally the first data was September to do it, so now it's larger than before. So we are going to explain you a little bit the back to Morocco, because as a lot of teams and a lot of projects stop because the pandemic situation, but I will explain you a little bit all the things that we do. At the beginning, I thought to speak only about the fieldwork, but finally it's a good moment also to, because I think that the last talk was in 2018, so update you a little bit, but very quick, don't worry, we are not being here 1 hour, a little bit the things that we did since the COVID stop, and the things that we finally begin again with this baking to the site and to the country. So first of all, for remember you, because this each day enlarge a little bit more, is the title of the project. This project, for the people that arrive new at the IPHES, I'm going to introduce only a little bit. Beginning 2005, Robert Sala is called by Hassan Orak from the Faculty of Science of Université Mohamed Premier de Oujda, in order to begin a collaboration to study the archaeological materials. The area of unveiling metallic effect is very well known for the geological studies, like a book of all the samples for the students of geology, but there are a lot of archaeological materials that never was studied directly. There were some works doing for some French teams, and there are also one PhD and some papers about the Ministerium of the Middle Stone Age of the region for some site, but never systematic works were done before. So since 2006, first we begin, and you will see the goals of the project. We begin first with a lot of years of surveys to understand the basin, to understand the area, because even if the small square that you will see in the card, there is a very large area that we are working. And also until we understand the basin, and especially when we begin to find the material that were in surface, that there are a lot of in a stratigraphic position, and we begin to excavate in a systematic way. So all of this institution is because we have a very large, fortunately, interdisciplinary research team that cover all the discipline that we need to achieve the goals of the project. The area of work is the Eastern Morocco. Eastern Morocco is a political area in a region, like in our region here in Spain. It's located just in the border with Algeria, but in a geological point of view, for the reconstruction of the paleoecology and the human occupation, we are in the high plateau basin, and the frontier is political, for sure. But it's the same geological and geomorphological area in both countries. We have colleagues that are working inside very similar to the hours in the other part. As you know, also Morocco, since especially the discovery of and the publication, because the discovery was the first fossil of first Neanderthals and later Homo sapien, or first Homo sapien in Africa, the Jebeli root, begin to have a role more important in the research. It's very well known all the work done in the Atlantic coast since a lot of years for different French, German, and English team. But it's true that the Eastern Morocco were there, but steps some works, and for sure, the work done in Ifrin and Mar and Rafas, that are the two cave reference for us also, belonging to Middle Stone Age and later Stone Age, and also Jebel El Bred, well, another near Ifrin and Mar, another big cave with the later Stone Age. They were not known because the people don't like to excavate site or to look for site in surface, and we thought that the material in surface have no information. I can tell you that when I arrived there, after spending all my life excavating in caves and rock shelters, you tell what I am going to do with all of this. But finally, when you understand your context, you have seen, and I'm going to present only some result, you have a very good information. So this is a map with the site that we have discovered until now. We added also Station Meteo that have been already discovered for the French team that I spoke before, but we also did some test pit to see the continuity of the site, but there are no more material. And the rest of the site are discovered in the frame of this project. Some of them have been excavated, or at least we began to excavate it. Others should be excavated the next year, especially because you will see because the 2 years and a half that we should stop it, the project, and to be there, even to study material. As I told you, the goals of the project from the beginning were very, very clear. It was to do first, like for the conservation of the heritage and the knowledge of the heritage of the region, to valorize the important for the research, was to do first an inventory of the archaeological heritage of the region, but establishing a chronological, stratigraphical, paleoenvironmental and cultural frame of the human settlement patterns. For sure, we are reconstructing the paleoecology and the paleoenvironment, but we need to know what's happened during all this period, during the Quaternary. And have you seen in this slide, we have sites belong to all the Quaternary, even historical times. And for sure, this Oriental Morocco was an area not well known and that need different engine motors to develop, especially the local population, the young people, the woman. So we try, and we are doing at the same time. If someone is interested, I'm not going to speak about 3 points now, only a little bit. But we are doing different things there in order to first, that the local population knows very well the sites and the things that they can find. They are safer. They are all nomads that now begin to establish in the area, so they know the territory and the place better than anyone. So now, after all this year, they work with us in excavation, in the surveys, and it's them that now are the person that are funding the site. So it's time that they saw something, they call to our colleagues in there in order to keep it, and they take care. So we have a very good relation, and we want to exchange this using the cultural heritage to develop as a driver for economic development. For sure, also, one of the goals is also the develop of the educational programs for the formation of young Moroccan students. We have one here, and I think that some of them are connected. That through the master and also with the international mobility like Erasmus+, we try to help, especially because the University of Mohamed Premier in USDA have no archaeology. If you want to do archaeology, if I am not mistaken, Abdullah, you tell me, you should go to Rabat, to the National Institute for Heritage, and there are not too much place to do the master and to have a formation to be a researcher. So we are trying to form here the student, and that they came back because they are the future to manage the project and to manage their heritage. So 2020, all was ready. We were to the field, and the idea was went for 1 month and to excavate in 2 of the sites that we discovered it in 2019. That was the last time that we went in Morocco. So how we know all very well, COVID arrived, pandemic, lockdown, border closed. So we thought, like, I think that we thought all that was something temporary, but this time spent in, not only for this reason, I will explain you a little bit more later, but suddenly we thought, okay, we can do the field work later, but the later was very late, 2 years and a half after. So for sure, impossible to go to excavate, to anything, and COVID lockdown, but not COVID, one wave, other wave, one lockdown, other lockdown, border closed and not closed. And even we had it another added factor that were the diplomatic problem between Spain and Morocco. So even if it was possible to move to other country, but between Spain and Morocco, no. So the result were 2.5 years with no field work and with no possibility to go to the country. So we decided that we needed a contingency plan, not only for the development of the project, but also for the student. At this moment, we have one student doing the master, or another that begin, also Ivan that are here with the PhD. So we have some result that enough to do for a period, but not to finish a PhD or to finish a master. So the first part of the contingency plan was provide to publish the data that we have already, that everyone were working, but finally was the moment to tell, okay, we cannot move it, we cannot. So now we should try to publish all the things that are almost ready, and finally we know all very well, you live, and so these were the 5 papers that we did during this period. Things how you can see a lot of colleagues, and was focalized especially in the cartography of the area, because I didn't tell you before, but one of the problems when we arrived there is the maps and all the cartography available was very old and not very. We found a lot of mistakes especially in the topographical and geological card that the Morocco colleague already tell us. So we are trying to do all the new cartography. So this paper is the first one. There are another one with all the area that are also almost finished and to be published. And we had a lot of data, especially from the paleontological site of the FEIT-42. So we provide to publish the data. For sure, thanks to the other part of the project, because we were not possible to travel, but our colleagues, when the things were better, they have permission to begin to continue the surveys, and also because, especially because the local population called us to tell, we found a new cave with things that look like our stuff, and for sure, the Jofe Igarbiyen, don't smile of me, Abdullah, with my pronunciation, that will be excavating, we hope in not too much, in 1 or 2 years. And especially the area of Wedel High, where we have different fossils localities, until now only paleontological. That is this paper that you have here is the first paper that we published for other 2 localities. So a part of this, and all the part of outreach scientific activities, our colleagues continue. We have a small museum at the university, it's the University Museum of the Faculty of Science, of Archaeology and Heritage. So now with the new president of the university, there are a project to enlarge this museum and to do a real museum with the heritage, archaeology, and also ethnology. So to show to the people how is the Oriental Morocco and the human population and their activities from 2-3 million ago until now. But this now we are asking for fundings. But at least with this small museum, we continue with all the visit of the student, and also not only the visit, but also the training for the teachers. And you can see down the teacher of the school and high school that are very implicated also with us in order to teach and to show the young generation how important is their heritage and how identify on the field, especially in the school of the village. The children are a very important role or character for us as a people that help a lot of also during the excavation. So even if we are very lucky because we have a lot of publication and things, the nightmare thinking at the open air site are going to disappear was horrible. I can tell you that, especially me, twice by week was horrible to dream all the time that the site disappear, for sure, because during all this time, our colleagues sent out the pictures of all the floods and all the snow and all the things. And you know very well, it's like here in the Mediterranean, you have no river and suddenly you have 6 meters of water. So finally, the things begin to change. The nightmare continues for sure until we can go to do the first campaign after all this time, because different times there were some windows to go. We prepared all the field work, and 1 or 2 weeks before were canceled because the borders were closed again. So finally, in October 21, we can go, especially because Ivan was almost to have a nerve attack because he needed the sample for the PhD for sure. So finally, we obtained a permission only for 1 week and only 3 persons, more than the Moroccan colleagues. That was focalized in all the sampling for pollen, leaf walls, stracot, and sediment for the PhD of Ivan, but also for the rest of the study that we are developing. And also we provide some days on the university to revise and to study or to take the last data that we needed of some of the pieces of wet rabbit, by the moment the only Chilean site that we have in stratigraphy, for the paper that we are preparing, and we hope that it will be finished very, very, very early. So just when we came back of the previous, of this sample, I think that 1 month later, the border was closed again. So we thought, okay, at least we have the data for continue working. And just in half February, the government of Morocco tell that are going to open at the beginning of March the country again. So in 2 weeks, we prepare very quickly to go to the field. We have the permission to excavate, all the stuff. So, but with a lot of restrictions, short team, and not too much time, only 2 weeks. So the previous planning to excavate 2 sites finally was only 1 and only 2 weeks. So we work, I don't know how many hours by day, but we got it. And Tahia 3, that was the site that I'm going to present the preliminary data, was discovered in 2019. Carlos, you can explain better than me. And they did, was discovered in the surveys to look for Neolithic sites. But the surprise, I'm very happy, Carlos, the surprise, Carlos, Gala, Celia, that suddenly he did a test pit, or they did a test pit, and surprise, we have fauna, we have lithics, we have all. And in 1 meter square, as you can see, the number of the richness of this were a surprise for this that were the first goal to do in 2022. So we retake to as planning to 2022. So we speak about Middle Stone side. We are waiting for the result because the first analysis, especially the alpha-lafini, is a biochronological marker very clear for North Africa that belong to upper Pleistocene. So in all the nightmare, one of the sites that disappeared was this one, and you can see here we clean a little bit, but the test speed that we did in 2019 was very easy to find. Here you can see a little bit a general view of where the site is located, with a very good surprise that this level that we have these two levels that we have here, we can follow in this hill and this hill, but also in this hill. So perhaps now we have 16 meters square, as I showed you, but perhaps we have, I don't know how many meters square with the human occupation. So here you have the square where we did the speed, and we begin to enlarge the surface. So when we begin to enlarge, we saw that the richness of the site continued. So, okay, we go and work until the 2 weeks we worked too much, and we decided finally to stop in this 60 meters square. As you can see a little bit, all this part is sterile. I'm going to show you later the stratigraphy. And this is some picture at the beginning of the excavation. This is the part where there are the two levels. So then of this large excavation were 16 meters square, and the richness that we already observed in the first speed continuing all the surface. The material is very well preserved, even if the fauna look like this. I don't know if Elena is here. It's in the moment that we excavate that begin to have fissure, but really they are very well preserved. And here I present a table with the, sorry, it's in French, I'm missing all the language, with the result of the material that come from these 2 weeks of field work. So at the beginning, as you can see, we differentiate more archaeological level or sub-levels that we have observed later. All these data are preliminary, and these data come from the study of the material on the field. So after the field, like in all the excavation that we manage at the IPHES, we have the lab, so it's very preliminary data, but normally we will go, inshallah, 1 week in March to study all the material. So we are waiting that something happen, especially after 2 days of our government with Morocco discussing. So, but by the moment, at least to have some data, because each 2 years, the Association of Specialists in Quaternary and Archaeology in Morocco, there are a congress where everyone that are working in geology and archaeology present the data. So was the first after the pandemic situation was in November. So we took all the data possible to present to the Morocco community the new site of his country. So here you can see we have a lot of fauna. We have well, a lot of 60 meters square is not bad for an opera site. Lithic industry, mainly flint. Limestone and sandstone are more related, as you will see in the pictures. We thought they are all preliminary data and hypotheses with the napping activity, but especially with the fracturation of the faunal assemblage. Later we have charcoal, some possible ochre, and all the samples that we took for microvertebrate and also for other type of analysis. So when we came back and we begin to trade the data, we saw that finally we have 2 clear sub-levels. We maintain, until now, we maintain 1A and 1B. But they are similar in the composition, they change the color and all this fresh shell that we discovered, that at the beginning we thought perhaps we have also symbolic behavior. By the moment we have any, and they are related with the formation on geological formation of the site. We will see if we can find some example of symbolic behavior, but if not, at least we have a lot of data also for the paleoecological study that is also ongoing. So here you can see the stratigraphy, and here you can see the distribution of the material in a horizontal point of view. The level 1A have less material, perhaps because it's the first with archaeological material, and perhaps could be more erodated to affect it, but level 1B have much more material, very well preserved, and also is the area where we found really a lot of charcoals, and even this area, there are accumulation. We have no fire, but there are an accumulation of charcoal, and there are some pieces that have thermal alteration. We will see when we can study deeply. And this is the unpublished stratigraphy, but the first stratigraphy. Here you have a little bit the explanation of what's happening in the site. That is a marvelous stratigraphy geologically, but also with our 2 levels there. So now this is the description, but also the analysis related with the sedimentology, geology. We have the preliminary results arrived just at the end of the year, so we are also revising all. And related with the fauna is the same. Are very preliminary data from the lab, but there are a lot of eight taxon, I think, more or less, no? Yes. 8 taxon at the moment, but the new study that will be done in March deeply will provide more information. But one of the things that are very important is that we found cut marks and fracture marks of anthropogenic origin. Yes, I told you this because it's very easy to see even the people that are not specialists. Now we should revise, but at least the fracturation and cut mark look like very clear. We will see with Antonio the next March. But all the points, the first hypothesis, we are in a batchery site. The river is just 35 meters, 50 meters from the site. So it's a strategic point to have resource, and all the animals were there. So we need to study all, but the first hypothesis is this one. So even if the fauna appear very well, we need the work of Elena for sure, because the problem was in the moment that we take off the sediment or begin to be fissures. So, but we prepare all, and later in the lab, because we have a field lab in the house that we live, not only for the restoration, but also for the rest of laboratory tasks. So, but we are interested not only for sure in the macrovertebrae, but also in microvertebrae. So all the sediment was washed. Apart, some bags, some sacks are already sieved. By the moment we have no any remains, but still there are a lot of things to finish to sieve. But we have a lot of macrovertebrate remains. Related with the lithics, the first hypothesis is also that we are, if we compare with the other assemblies that we have in the area, we are in, and also because the species of, since a biochronologically point of view, we are in a upper Pleistocene. But it's true that the technical attribute looks like Middle Stone Age, but it's a little bit different of the other Middle Stone Age site that we have in the area. It's true that the other sites are more related with with sites located in quarry areas of first procurement of church. So perhaps related with this, with the function of the site, we will see. But the attributes are Middle Stone Age, could allow us to associate to Middle Stone Age, waiting for the dates. So there are, for sure, a fragmentation and reduction sequence. There are pieces that come, and even we thought that there are some cores that we identify some refits only there. Now we will work during this travel that we'll do in March more, but we have cores that look like that are right to the site, and later we can refit one or two pieces, but there are also a lot of toolkits or pieces that by the moment in only system meter square we didn't find more pieces related with the same type. The two methods or strategy that we identify until now with the pieces that we have is level one discoda. So we are in the Middle Stone Age. By the moment we have no any laminar or pieces associated to laminar that any tangent point. No, it's only core flakes and retouched pieces. The retouched pieces are especially scraper and normally unbaked flakes. Perhaps related with the handling of the pieces for the battery activity, we will see, because also we will do the use wear analysis and residue analysis. So the last day, for sure, we leave to sample for all the things that we needed. The sample are also, they arrive, I think that, I don't know, in October, some months later, and are all of them in period of the study, and we are waiting for the date to see what's happened. And now we will try also to take more samples to date. We have the permission, but to date also bones and other stuff. So this is the working ongoing since related with this site, the fieldwork was in March. So this is the work that are ongoing and continue now. And if we have the permission and all the stuff early, we will go also to do a fieldwork to enlarge more this point that of Tahia 3, but also to see the other hills if we can open other large surface in order to have different points in this area. And we are waiting for the result. Even the study of the archaeological remains should be finished now. So we hope that after this campaign to study materials, we will have more information very soon. So this is the last fieldwork that we did. Well, in this case, where Robert Sala is not here today, that passed me the information because they were only two people to sample for geochronology, especially to finish the sampling grid of the paleomagnetism that we have from the El Haigara Sultana section, a large section of more than 200 meters, that always we have some hole that need to precise more, and also to have numeric data, because at the moment we have only or of the session we have only paleomagnetism, and we are waiting for the result of ESR, but it's one of the sites that belong since a geological and technological point of view to all the one mode one of we have two sites, all sites in the area. So this is this week that they went was focalizing this to finish this sampling for the paleomagnetism in this section. Also to try to have numeric data from the paleontological site of Gate 42 in 2019. The ESR sample that we took on teeth and on sediment gave negative result, because since a biochronological point of view, and also through the paleomagnetism, 2 weeks ago there are a paper in GeoBios that publish this data. We are around 2.5, 2.6, but we need numerical data really to decide. So we hope that this new sample allow us to finish to mark chronologically this paleontological set. That is also very important because Ivan, how is the name? Al-Ahlam is the best collection of fossil of this period in North Africa. So the data are very important to compare with the result obtained for the other teams that are working in the site, and to especially to reconstruct this frame of late Pliocene and the beginning of the early Pleistocene. And lastly, the third thing that were not planned, that because finally they didn't finish the other sampling for dating that they want, was that the local people informed to Hassan and Robert that after the big floods of 2 months ago, they discovered a lot of bones. As you can see here, there are mandibles, this is a rhino. Here you have the vertebrates and all the fossil. So they changed the last thing planning for this mission in order to take off all the material. Here you can see the pieces drying, and now they are restoring with the help online with the Helena to begin to restore all the material, even if very well preserved, but at least to clean and to try to study the fossil in this spring too. By the moment, look like the other points that we have on the banks of the Wet High, that I show you also other pictures, and that is published in one of the papers, that biochronologically we know that belong this species of rhino and boss to Pleistocene, but this time how the people related with that thing was there. They took also some sample for SL. We will see the results, and they are also some natural remains wood. If we can, when we go in March, we will bring to Ethel some sample if we have the permission. So we have another point in the same area. So there are some lithics, some pieces that Robert keep, because it have a little bit of doubt. We will see in March if really are napped or not, because we should take in account that after 16 years there now, we know that there are a lot of geofat that could be lithics, and finally there are not. So that is all by the moment. And thank you very much to everyone, and our thanks to all the people that make possible this. For sure, the team and all the people of Morocco and all the institutions that are supporting the project. Thank you.